Okay, I'm gonna teach you how you can train your brain to think like a marketing genius. And it's just one concept which honestly, if you just adapt this for the rest of your life, you will become so much more knowledgeable, or I guess smarter when it comes to marketing. Because the things that you actually come up with will make sense to you, you'll have confidence in those ideas, and also they actually work. So I call this RBA. What do you think RBA stands for? I'll tell you in a bit. But I feel like our brain is split into two different sections. Well, the way we think is split into two. It's not that I feel this is true, but there's just better ways of explaining this. You can watch an Andrew Huberman video. But to keep it simple, our brain functions basically in two splits. The first one is our rat brain. Second one is our logical brain. So the rat brain. This side of your brain is responsible for making subconscious decisions. Basically just doing things out of reaction. And you can think of it as a fish in a bowl. When you tap the glass, it shakes, right? Humans have this for survival reasons. Okay, now let's move on to the logical side of our brain. The logical side of our brain is responsible for making decisions, all right? It's what separates us from animals. Our logical brain helps us, let's say if someone is charging towards us, like a dog, someone with just a rat brain might start running away from the person charging towards you. However, our logical brain would be like, okay, this person is going for a jog, this person is late for a bus, or this person is chasing his friend down the street, or this person forgot his wallet at the shop, so he's running towards you, not at you, but past you, and you can make a logical decision to just move out the way instead of panicking, like you might do with your rat brain. I know this doesn't feel like it has anything to do with marketing, but just pay attention here. Pay attention to your rat brain wanting to click off this video because it's not delivering you immediate value. Use your logical brain to be like, okay, I feel my rat brain feeling like clicking off this video or skipping through. Let me watch through this entire video and give him just 10 minutes of my precious time to hear what he has to say. So let's get into it. The key to becoming a marketing genius in anything, music marketing, selling products, whatever it is that requires you to sell to people, you need to learn how to switch between these two right here. All right, so the first example I'm going to bring up that uses this is called conscious scrolling, where you're consciously scrolling on Instagram. So what you want to do is open up Instagram, keep scrolling until you find a video that captures your attention. A video that captures your attention, your brain is responsible for that, by the way. Let's say, for example, somebody just falls from above, and that catches you off guard. This is where you ask yourself, why did that capture my attention? So you can think of RBA, rat brain analysis, as you just asking your brain why it enjoyed that or why your brain reacted that way. This goes both for why did I scroll past the video, in terms of why did you not want to watch a video, and also why did you want to watch a video. And when you're constantly aware of your rat brain, using your logical brain, then you're going to develop this like intuitive understanding over time as to what works and what doesn't, because you're so conscious about what works and what doesn't. You're so conscious about your rat brain, so you just know immediately how to trigger other people's rat brains, if that makes sense. Because the beauty is you have a rat brain and everybody has a rat brain. Nobody doesn't have a rat brain. So this is a beautiful part here, is because if you understand how your mind works, you can learn how to trigger other people's minds. I might have to stop putting this right here, but this is a reason why I have a gun on my table. Go through any of my videos, and this has been an experiment that I've been running for the last 10, 15 videos, and I've been waiting to tell it. In this video here, I've been putting this gun on the table as an experiment to purposely trigger people to prove that this works. So people's rat brains, when they see a gun on the table, would be like, oh, look, it's a gun on the table. This gun has been placed here to drive up comments. Some people have been doing this. When people make comments about the gun on my table, people have used their logical brain and said, oh, he's just using that to gain more comments, more engagement. Exactly correct if that was you, and congratulations if that was you. So becoming aware of your rat brain goes far beyond just scrolling on Instagram and seeing what causes you to react. I'm going to list you a whole bunch of examples. So one example I like to mention a lot is when I was walking through a crowded city, and I see billboards all the time. Matter of fact, I don't even notice them because I have advertisement fatigue. I'm sick of seeing advertisements. One day I came across a billboard. Well, the billboard forced me to pay attention to it. It was a pink billboard, and it was an Apple advertisement. And I was drawn to that billboard, and I couldn't understand why. And that's where I used my logical brain to analyze my rat brain. I saw that the billboard was bright pink in color, and the color pink was never used in advertising. It's always, blue, black, white, red, all of these common colors. When you look at the frequency as to how often the color pink is used, it is the second least most used color in advertising. I think the first one is orange. Orange is the most uncommon color used in advertising. The color pink was strategically used because it's an uncommon color to use in advertising. And it worked. It grabbed my attention. Good job, app. Another example is I went through about 200 songs that you guys have submitted because I'm running this little thing where I am going through people's music, and if I like your music, I'm going to try and work with you and blow you up for a YouTube video, right? That was something that I was trying to do. I went through over 100, 200 songs, and what I noticed my rap brain doing was skipping through the intro. I didn't want to hear the first 10, 20 seconds. I just wanted to hear the good part. And my logical brain realized this. And this is why when you go in Rap Caviar, look at the top 20 songs, you will notice that most of them, a lot more songs nowadays, don't have an intro. They skip straight to the beat drop. Notice that. That is something that hasn't been a thing back in the day. Back in the day, maybe 5 years ago, there'd always be a build-up. And the reason why people do this is because, number one, on Spotify, it isn't good for the algorithm to see that people are skipping through your song. All right, sorry to interrupt, but if you feel like you're ready to take the next step in your music career, then I'm offering my mentorship services to 8 people. Basically, our goal is to help add an additional 10,000 to 30,000 monthly Spotify listeners to your name. And that'll be done so through planning and creating content that's made to go viral, as well as creating songs that are made to go viral. Just a heads up, I am a mentor and I am not Magic Potion, so therefore I only accept people that are hardworking, diligent, and actually have a vision to succeed. So I worked with an artist in Europe and they had their most viral hit song in their country, and they became the most popular rapper in that period of time in their country, which is crazy. And it just goes to show that one viral moment can really change your life. If you feel like you're ready and you want that to be you, and you feel like you have the potential to go viral, then go ahead and apply down below, because there's no harm in trying. So I wish you luck, and let's get back to the video. And number two, it's speed to value, meaning that you're giving people value immediately and people don't have to wait for value. So when it comes to you being an artist that nobody has heard of, when you give them value immediately, when they click on your song or when they hear the song, they're gonna be like, yo, who is this? Rather compared to having to wait 20, 30 seconds for a beat drop. Now, of course, this doesn't apply to all music, but it is a definite reason as to why on Rap Caviar you will notice that this strategy has been used a lot more often. So the biggest question you want to ask is why? Why do you think this way? Why do you react this way? This is what has led me to create a formula called component alteration. Now, if you follow my channel, you're probably sick of me using this term component alteration because I talk about it all the time. And component alteration is basically the formula for creativity. So creativity is very attention grabbing because creativity is coming up with something that hasn't been done. It's new. If you were to invent a pen that's exactly the same, you wouldn't call it creative. However, if you were to create a pen that was different from the other, assuming that this type of pen has never been invented before, where you can press a button to squeeze out ink, then this would be seen as creative. Creativity is simply coming up with new ideas that hasn't been done. So I've created a formula for this. And this is where you list out the components of a product and you alter components of them so that you create entirely new products. And this was a formula for creativity that I call component alteration. So I literally dissected how my brain works, how my rat brain works to perceive creativity, and use my logical brain to create a formula for that, if that makes sense. And by the way, a video that I made about it has gotten 5 million views on Instagram, and people are using this term all over the world. If I search up, component alteration, it comes up on Google. If I search it up on AI, it comes up on AI. Shout out to your boy. But yeah, I hope you can see how thinking like this and becoming aware of your rat brain can help you so much, because you're literally becoming aware as to how people react. And once you're aware of how people react, you've won the game. Another example is becoming aware of how people spend time on Instagram. So what I've noticed is that when I scroll through a reel on Instagram, if the video didn't catch my attention immediately, what I would do is look at the comment section to check if there are a lot of comments to validate whether or not I want to continue watching this video. Because if I see that the video has no comments, I'm going to be like, oh, this is a trash video. It's not a popular video. I'm not going to waste my time potentially watching a video that doesn't give me any value. Becoming aware of how you consume on Instagram can benefit you. Why is that? Damn, do I want to give this much sauce away? You can start fake conversations on Instagram to drive up the comments so that people will look at the comments and be like, oh, there's actually conversations in this video. Click the comments, scroll through the comment thread, and engage themselves. Or just get entertained by the comments section, the comment threads, the arguments in the comments that were started by you. You can start 5 Instagram pages and just have an argument with yourself, and people will enjoy that. What can I say? Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for the next video.